What is going on, everybody? We are back with another review, and this time we are reviewing Season 1. Or, I'm sorry, Two Twisted, Season 1, Episode 2, Story 1, and it is called Callback. This was directed by Graham Burfoot, written by Matthew McNamara, and the original air date is August 21st of 2006. Where can we even begin? We get a guy who he starts off staring at a picture of his family. You could tell that he lost his family by how sad he is. He's drinking himself, or he's drinking alcohol, and he then walks into the bathroom to turn off the water on the tub that he had been filling up. He plugged in a hair dryer and is getting ready to drop the hair dryer in. And you assume that he does because all the power goes out and then everything slowly comes back on and he comes out kind of dripping wet, like nothing actually harmed him or anything. And as he walks out, this ad pops up on his computer screen and it said call back. And it's a guy that comes on. He says, every day we make hundreds of decisions. Most of them are so small you don't recognize them. But every now and again, there's a decision that you make that alters the whole fabric of your reality. He says, with that, if there's any decision you would like to change, call 1-800-CALL-BACK and they will connect you with somebody to talk to in hopes that you are able to change a major thing that happened. So at that point, he remembers leaving his house a few years prior to go to work, and that's all you see. And he's pulling off. You see a red car sitting out there with a guy sitting in it. And I'd even pointed out, I was like, maybe these guys whoever this guy is comes in and kills her or whatever, right? So he calls his wife from back then, but she's too busy cleaning to notice that the phone is ringing. She doesn't answer. Sees that when he left for work, he left a file that he meant to take with him. So she calls him at his work, and he's unavailable, but gets a message left saying to call her back. So he, past version of himself, calls, or present version of himself calls past version of himself to tell him, hey, I'm you. And this sounds completely unbelievable. He didn't say it in this way. He tells him that this guy got out of prison and his family's in danger. Like, they're going to be murdered within the hour. He needs to go home and stop the guy. And he's like, who is this? And he's like, don't you recognize my voice? I'm you. And the guy was like, oh yeah, well, prove it. And he's like, okay, when you were leaving the house today, there was a red car parked out front. That's the car he's sitting in. He's going to come inside. He's like, there's no way you could have known that. And he hangs up on him. He then tries to call his wife, and his wife doesn't answer. So he panics, and he leaves work and starts to drive home. During the drive home, you see the wife making lunch for her son. And then she sets him up to start playing with Legos in his bedroom. And there's a ring at the doorbell. It's the guy there to kill her. But he doesn't. She doesn't. When she opens the door, he doesn't. He's not there. She closes the door, goes back to the kitchen to find out that the knife that she was using to cut the food is gone. So she goes back to check on her son, and when she gets there, the guy is in there talking to her son, and you find out what it sounds like. They don't ever actually specifically say, but it sounds like she was a defense attorney. before she had started her family, and the guy she defended got locked up for murdering his girlfriend. And she managed to get him a 5-year sentence instead of like a life sentence. Um, at least that's the way the argument between the two sounded like. I'm pretty sure that's the story. So we're going to run with it. So they then proceed to show more of the husband coming home, and he's all over the place. He's running here, like he pulls up. He's going to go down the street, and there's an ambulance in the way, so he can't drive past the ambulance. So he puts his car in park. He gets out and he runs. He runs and runs and runs so hard, so fast to get home. During the ride to where they were, he tried to call the I guess precinct, and they did tell him that the guy was let go. So he runs and runs and runs and runs, and all of a sudden, I told you if you watch the watch along, the cats are crazy, and I do apologize. Unfortunately, that's just life. So the guy that had snuck in to kill the lady and her son, puts her up against the wall with the knife, and she kind of fights back. And at this point, future version of himself calls back present wife or past wife. She tries to answer the phone to scream for help, and now all of a sudden the guy has to listen to his wife get attacked. And they're going back and forth. She's trying to kick him away and run away. He throws her. She hits her head on the ground. And just as he's about to kill her, past version of himself runs into the house with a lead pipe, smacks the dude. They get into a scuffle. He tells her to get her son to safety. They get into a back and forth. The guy that's trying to kill the murderer tries to stab him. He moves and he gets the knife stuck in the floor. He a couple punches back and forth. Past main character grabs the knife and stabs the murderer. And at that point, the wife walks into the bedroom with the kid. They hug, but then the killer, before dying, pulls out a gun. At which point, he pushes his family out of the way, and he gets shot a couple times. So instead of her dying and her son dying, he dies. And then future version of himself sees his wife walk into the room. He gets excited to see her. It makes it seem like she can see him. She walks right past him and goes and starts to pour herself a drink and tells the picture of her husband that she misses him and loves him. And her son walks out and says something, and they start to walk off. And then all of a sudden, an ad pops up on the computer screen that says call back. So they kind of hint that there's a chance that she may try to change something that happens as well. What this reminds me of, in essence, is, I don't know how many of you guys have ever seen the movie Butterfly Effect. The first one, not the second one. The second one's terrible. But the first Butterfly Effect is one of my favorite suspense horror movies, right? Which is funny, because I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I do not like, what the fuck is his name? That 70s show guy. Let me Google this real quick. God damn it. What was the name of the movie I did? Butterfly Effect. I just don't remember what his actual name is. Ashton Kutcher. I'm not an Ashton Kutcher fan. I don't like him in that 70s show. I don't like I don't like Dude, Where's My Car? I don't like most of the stuff that he's in. Except Butterfly Effect was amazing, and he actually did an insanely good job in it. But he always finds a way to change something about his past, or change something that had happened to him. And it changes things for the worst each and every time. There's never a good scenario with how things go for him. So, for this to kind of go full circle, or not full circle, but I love the twist in the end where like I said, like he's doing everything he can to save his family, and it ends up getting him killed. And I want to say I kind of thought that was going to be what ended up happening. I don't know why I didn't say it, and I'm not going to take credit for predicting it because I obviously didn't say it, but I should have. I was thinking it. That was such a good episode, though. Guys, this show is so good. I don't know. I'm so sad that I hadn't seen this up until now. But I'm also loving it because it's something new that I'm watching right now it's amazing so far. So, join us next time. We'll be covering Heart Attack, which is the second half of this, and we'll see what's in both I wonder if it's going to be the callback ad, if there's going to be a callback ad in the second episode. We'll see. All right. So that's going to do it. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.